we always talk about these big, amazing industrial projects, right? These huge, intricate systems.
Right?
But like, what about all the tiny pieces that hold it all together?
Absolutely.
And I think today we're going to talk about one of those.
For sure.
And that is butt weld fittings.
Yeah. These are...
And I'm super excited to deep dive into this with you today because these are essential in so many industries.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, especially here in the UAE.
Construction, oil and gas, petrochemicals.
Yeah. So before we get into it too much, can you just like give us a quick, like, what are butt weld fittings?
So basically butt weld fittings, or BW fittings as we'll call them.
Okay, cool.
They're used to connect pipes together permanently.
Oh, okay.
And what makes them unique is that they're welded directly onto the pipe.
Oh, interesting.
So you get this like really strong leak-proof connection.
Okay.
And this is super important.
Makes sense.
When you're dealing with things like fluids or gases or chemicals under high pressure and temperature.
That makes a lot of sense.
You know, you can't afford to have leaks.
Absolutely not.
So you want something that's really reliable.
Right. And so that's where...
And that's where BW fittings come in.
Premium butt weld fittings come in.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that because like...
Sure.
It seems like a fitting should just be a fitting.
Yeah, you'd think they'd all be the same, right?
Right.
But actually, choosing premium BW fittings can really make a big difference in the long run.
So how... So...
Well, for starters, they're made to much higher standards.
Gotcha.
Like, you'll see things like ASFA and ASTM mentioned.
Okay.
These are international standards that ensure
Okay.
the fittings meet certain requirements for strength.
Gotcha.
Pressure resistance and the materials used.
So you know it's good.
Yeah. It's like a seal of approval.
Yeah.
So you know you're getting a quality product.
So I guess, like, for someone listening to this, what does all that really mean?
Well, it means you're going to have less headaches down the road. You know, you're less likely to have leaks or failures or have to do costly repairs.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Because these premium fittings are designed to last.
Right.
And they can handle those tough conditions.
Yeah, so you're saying it's kind of like...
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, if you're building a house, would you rather have a really strong foundation?
Exactly.
Or would you want to, like, save a little bit of money?
Right.
And then have the whole thing collapse?
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
You know, you might save a bit up front by going with cheaper fittings.
Right.
But in the long run, you're probably going to end up paying more.
When everything breaks.
Exactly, when you have to replace them.
The classic buy cheap, pay twice.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So we're talking about premium butt weld fittings.
Right. Where do we get them?
Yeah, where do we get them from?
So finding a good supplier is key.
Yeah.
First thing you want to look for are those certifications. Make sure they meet those international standards.
Gotcha. So back to the ASME.
Exactly. ASME, ASTM, all that stuff.
No cutting corners.
No cutting corners there.
Okay.
But it's not just about certifications. You also want to consider things like material selection.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Different materials are going to be better suited for different applications.
Absolutely.
Like, if you're working with highly corrosive chemicals, you're going to need a fitting made from something like a nickel alloy that can withstand that.
Interesting.
As opposed to just standard steel.
Makes a lot of sense.
And then there's customization options.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Some projects need very specific solutions.
Totally.
And you want a supplier that can work with you to create exactly what you need.
Yeah, I've run into that problem before.
Oh, yeah, it happens. And then finally, don't underestimate the importance of good technical support and timely delivery.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
You know, a good supplier is going to be a partner.
Yeah.
Not just a vendor.
Totally.
They'll be there to help you every step of the way.
Right.
From choosing the right fittings.
Okay.
To making sure they arrive on time.
That makes a lot of sense because, I mean, we're talking about these huge projects.
Right.
So if something doesn't arrive on time...
Everything gets delayed.
Yeah. And that costs money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, wow. Okay, so I've learned a lot today about butt weld fittings.
It's a fascinating topic.
Yeah, it is.
Really is.
It's like we went from this little tiny thing to this massive world.
A whole world of fittings.
Yeah, of standards and certifications.
And expertise.
Yeah. So, like, to bring it all together.
Yeah.
Like, what are the key things that you think someone listening could take away?
So I think the main takeaway is that butt weld fittings are essential for a lot of industries.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to just use any old fitting.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're choosing premium quality.
Yeah.
That meets those international standards.
Gotcha.
and you want to partner with a reputable supplier who can provide you with the right products and the support you need.
So it's really about investing in quality.
Absolutely.
For the long haul.
For the long haul.
Yeah. So that's kind of a different way to think about things.
It is.
I always like to leave our listeners with a little something to think about.
Of course.
So next time you see, big pipeline or refinery or even just like a complicated plumbing system in a building.
Yeah.
Take a moment to appreciate all those little fittings holding it all together.
The unsung heroes.
Yeah, those are the unsung heroes.
Yes.
Yeah. And remember, choosing the right ones can make a world of difference.
It really can.
Yeah, it can prevent disasters.
For sure.
It can save money. It can make things run smoothly.
Absolutely.
So that's Butt Weld Fittings.
That's Butt Weld Fittings.
Deep dive.
Deep dive.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.